3 cars. Macao is 40 miles west of Hong Kong, a Portuguese colony on the mainland of China. And here we have Mika Häkkinen. Amazingly, he felt he could go even faster than his record-breaking lap.
I think, you know, let's say tomorrow, when it's a warm-up, maybe end of the session if I feel good, and we have to grab the new tires. Maybe I have to try if I can go under 20.
Well, that would be amazing. What has changed for you in the last year? Because you've been here before. What has changed for you? You're so much quicker than almost anyone else at the moment.
It's just like today, it's at the moment, and this year I have a Western Racing, which is a professional team. And whatever I said, I go around the circuit, every corner, if I have some problem, I explain that to my engineer Rob and team manager Dick Bennett. And they're gonna have a little meeting together about 1 hour. And after that, they fix the problem. And that's why I go faster and faster all the time.
So, Mika Häkkinen, the British Formula 3, Michael Schumacher from Stuttgart, only 21 years old, one of the youngest drivers in this race. He's been racing in the Mercedes Sports Car Series, or the Mercedes Sports Cars in the World Sports Car Series, and been winning there as well. And he's going to be driving for them again next year. He's explaining in German how much he wants to win this race. He's already met and been beaten by Mika Häkkinen. When Häkkinen came over to race in the German Formula 3 Championship, just did one race and won it, but he desperately wants to win this race as well, not surprisingly. So Michael Schumacher starting from second on the grid, and no doubt in an extremely good position to at least slot him behind Häkkinen, if not beat him down into that first corner. Mika Salo and a newcomer here.
Street circuit, and it's really fun that everything goes so fast, and it's just sometimes you don't even realize you passed the one corner. It's so good.
So the grid being cleared for these 30 cars. Heat 1, 15 laps. Behind Häkkinen and Schumacher is Laurent Aiello, the French driver who did incredibly well to win the Monaco Formula 3 race. Laurent Aiello, one of the coming men, 21 years old. It's his first visit, and he's third on the grid. Fourth on the grid, the man we're riding with now, Eddie Irvine. The Ulsterman, 25 years old, it's his third visit here. He was a heat winner in 1988, and he was third in the European Formula 3000 Championship in...
Racing circuit I've ever been to. I've been very lucky, I've always made it, but this year they've introduced new curbs to narrow the circuit. It's very wide down the straight, but they come to extremely tight surface, a tight corner down there. So what they've done is narrowed the whole thing early off, and we'll see if this actually works. It'll keep people off the inside line, which is very dirty anyway. People always try and outbrake, get on the dust, lock up and go into the car in front of them. Last year we saw that happen. We've seen it happen many times before. So the sponsors and the organisers will be very happy if they all make it cleanly through the first corner.
Maybe there is the green flag. There is the view from Eddie Irvine's car. Red light is on. Schumacher creeps a little bit, but they're away, and Schumacher makes a bad start there. He crept forward, then stopped, and then went again, and it's Häkkinen who goes straight into the lead. Mika Häkkinen into the lead, and Eddie Irvine, we're riding with him now, in second place. Laurent Aiello is behind him, going down into this first corner. Well, there is the field. Look at this. It's Häkkinen from Irvine. There's Aiello going wide, and then I think it's Schumacher. They're safely through there at the moment.
Well, I'm sure that most of the sponsors will be very happy they've made it through that first corner. Of course, this race is 2 legs, so if you do damage your car in the first leg, then you've really blown it for the whole race. So we see them coming up the hill now, and there's some, obviously there has been some oil on the track there, and they're going through the dust.
This is the view out of the back of Mika Häkkinen's car, I think, of Eddie Irvine in second place. We see one car dipping out there. Is there any overtaking on this section?
Not really at all. It's very narrow here. All the best you can do is just try and stay with the car. We see Häkkinen's already built up quite a considerable lead there, which is quite good for him because Irvine may well slow up Schumacher, who was second quickest, made a terrible start. We can see Irvine behind him holding up a slight train of cars. There's no way you can overtake around here without taking a huge risk and possibly crashing.
Well, they're going now up to far away hill to Moorish, and there is Häkkinen. There is Eddie Irvine. Then Laurent Aiello, Michael Schumacher, and then I think we saw Mika Salo. The field streaming through. It doesn't seem to be too reduced, so hopefully they've all made it. And this will almost be a record here in Macao.
Well, That's right. So far, no accidents, no incidents, but probably a few to come.
Well, it does mean that we've got a very full field, and there you saw Joe Zeller not even running a rear wing. Now, that's what is very important on the next section that's just coming up. Now, there's someone trying to overtake where you said they shouldn't. Slack wrist for him. But this is riding with Eddie Irvine in second place. Häkkinen's gone through there. It looks a thrill a minute with Eddie Irvine.
Well, you can see how stiff the car is there. I'm not sure whether Eddie Irvine got that corner right. It seems to have dropped back a bit. The car actually jumped out of his hands almost. So he's going to come under pressure now. And well, there was a bit of a moment there.
Yeah, Aiello having a big moment there. It must be a bump on the entrance to our bend there. But they all seem to be safely through, I was going to say. That's number 25. And that is one of the Japanese competitors, Furuya, who is out. And he just got a bit crossed up on the braking with me.
Early bath for him, I'm afraid, and it's very easily done there over those fronts. Probably a bit too much bias on the rear brakes.
Now, we saw Aiello have that moment, and he's dropped back a couple of places. And, in fact, Schumacher is now up into third place. It's Häkkinen, Irvine, Schumacher. And then Salo going third now.
Well, I think that Häkkinen will be very pleased to have his teammate Irvine between himself and Schumacher. Schumacher's been extremely quick in practice, and he's the man that's going to challenge him.
Yeah, sorry, I mentioned there that Irvine, yes, I think he's in second place, so he's all right. Into the pits there, the Capcom team, number 19, of Philippe Adams, the Belgian driver.
Obviously, something wrong with his car. They're looking at the front suspension there, and
that's Mr. Furuya, I think, enjoying the spectacle.
I wouldn't say he would be enjoying it, just having a look at the wreckage of his car.
And that's Pedro Chavez coming into the pits in the superpower car. The only Portuguese driver in this race, in the Portuguese enclave, of course. And Chavez, 25 years old, living either in Oporto or Bista. And, as you say, an early bath for him, for the British Formula 3000 champion.
In fact, it looks like he had a puncture there. They've changed his wheel, so he'll be on his way. But Häkkinen, Sal's on there with Irvine still holding behind him and keeping Schumacher at bay.
Yes, Irvine in second place, and we're running with him now. We can't see what goes on in his mirrors, but that's through Donna Maria, and this is this very, very narrow section, probably the narrow
For him.
Here we are back with Eddie Irvine. Ahead of him, that speck in the distance is Mika Häkkinen leading this first leg of the Macao Grand Prix. Eddie Irvine currently second, as it says there, going through that very, very quick corner. Is that flat out there?
That's flat in Formula 3, that's reservoir bend. In fact, it's not too much of a problem, and then we see someone lining up ready to come out of the pits.
Yes, that's Philippe Adams about to rejoin.
Unfortunately here, they won't let you out of the pits until all the cars have gone past, because you actually come out right on one of the fastest corners and you can easily cause an accident. There we see what sort of thing can happen. And Schumacher now challenging Irvine down the outside. Very difficult.
It's not on there, is it?
Well, it's been done before.
Schumacher up to third, Salo in fourth place. That's Eddie Irvine second, really under pressure now from Schumacher. Eddie Irvine, Mika Salo behind him, and then Laurent Aiello. Häkkinen already having pulled away. And look at Schumacher, he's really trying all the lines there, isn't he?
Interestingly enough, Schumacher's the only guy in a Reynard who have had a terrible year this year, and he really seems to be showing that the Reynard still does work, especially around this circuit. And it'd be fantastic if he won in a Reynard, but Reynard really haven't won anything of note all year in Formula 3.
Yes, well, the word here is, according to Schumacher, if you keep with it, stick with it, and are confident in it, show your confidence in it, then the Reynard certainly works around this circuit. Maybe it doesn't everywhere, but it does here. This is going through Moorish with Eddie Irvine.
You saw Eddie Irvine just locking up. That just shows what pressure he's at. Oh, and Schumacher's through. We saw him lock up coming down the hill, lost some time, and Schumacher's taken the advantage. Never one to miss an opportunity and gone straight through. Now he'll be chasing Häkkinen hard. We saw him locking up there as well.
That's not exactly a conventional overtaking place either.
Well, that was because Irvine made a mistake, but these guys are really pushing hard now.
So there's the battle for second place. Schumacher, Irvine, Salo, Aiello, and then Ricard Rydell, then Zanardi. And a great queue of cars. It's all action around this Macao 3.8-mile gear circuit.
You see that Schumacher's already put some light between himself and Irvine now got the problem of Salo behind him in the camel car. You can see how close they actually go to the wall out there. I think Salo's going to get past Irvine soon. Doesn't seem to be too happy, Irvine, but Schumacher's pulling away and is now going to be chasing Häkkinen.
Well, he's got approximately 5 seconds.